Attention, all of my elevated content seekers. We Believe Digital is designed to inspire. Whether it's music, news, entertainment, We Believe Digital has the content that you don't want to miss. We're bringing you the best in news, entertainment, sports, inspiration, and so much more. Not only are we designed to inspire, but you can advertise with us and reach your target audience now. Got something that you believe in? Well, we believe in you, and we're offering you the opportunity to become a podcaster at We Believe Digital Studios. To become a Want to know more? You can contact us at www.webelievedigital.com. And while you're at it, be sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Roku at We Believe Digital.
Good evening and welcome to Doc and Sock. We're broadcasting live right here in Jackson, Mississippi. My Mississippi, I always say the air is a little bit cleaner, the grass is a little bit greener, and it's a retirement community. I used to call Mississippi a town. Now I'm reducing it to a community where everybody knows one another. You know, we remember the time when we didn't lock any doors in Mississippi anywhere. You know, when a neighbor suffered from anything, the whole community would stand behind them and rebuild their house, go on, get their cow out of the ditch or whatever was necessary. Because that's what a community does. If you're watching us on Facebook, then we want you to share this program with your friends and family and subscribe to the program. Sales stars, you know, we need your support. This network is growing every day. We appreciate those that have subscribed to the program. And it's the only way that you're able to share and make comments is that you are a live subscriber, an active subscriber. So we need you to be there and so that we can hear your voice. If you're watching us over on YouTube, hit the notification bell. You know, we're ranked in the top 20 on the new YouTube channel. You can go there and see programs. I was watching just last night. We had economically empowering our community by, you know, put it on the table. And both shows were getting rave reviews. So we need your support there. Now, if you're watching us on TikTok, again, thank you for your support. Instagram, Facebook, we know that you're there. Twitch, we know that you're there. We will soon be on fan base. We want to take a look at that platform and see if we can support another African owned and operated digital media platform. Fan base, Hayes Jr. We're coming your way, sir. To all of our viewers out there all over the world, 139 different countries. You know, I know you depend on us to bring you the kind of stories that you won't get anywhere else or any other outlet. And so, as always, my co-host, the Honorable Eldridge Henderson, a man born on a Mississippi plantation and has risen to become a Dr. Eldridge Henderson. Not only is he a doctor in education, he's also a minister. And many of you know that when you understand the Bible, and you understand history, that you have something than they do inside of your own self. And Doc struggles with that. He shares with us the conflicts that exist in those two arenas. If you need a speaker anytime in the world, Dr. Eldridge is your guy. How have you been?
Been doing well, as you, sir. I don't let the hot weather, cold weather, people or anything get me down other than 5 seconds. I bounce back and move forward, say do another 10 years, whatever I'm doing.
How did you get that kind of drive and that kind of determination?
Well, it was told me by my father. He had a rule. What I say, do it right, and you're going to go to school. So that was it.
How many times did he tell you to do something?
One time.
One time.
after the second time. I
Okay.
learned to do it after he taught me to do something when I was 4 or 5 years of age, immediately, and he gave me consultation with with a belt and an extension cord,
Look out.
and from then on, I would move immediately, even when I heard it. That if I could anticipate what he was going to say or do, I would be ready.
You were trying to anticipate
That's right.
what he might do.
I wanted to do it quickly.
Doc, extension cord, today's society would call that brutality.
Yeah, but that's what I call comfort in those days. I didn't understand it at the time, but that gave me discipline, made me move fast, and made me want to do a job. The first, we didn't take no what we call shabby job. Like a lot of parents allow things to do today with their kids. They tell them something, they do what they want, and many will say, "I'm not going to do that. You do it.
You
You
ever,
the one wanted.
you ever talk back to you?
Never did in public, not in private, but I would do it after they would get out of the area with my brothers and sisters. Man, we would talk about how we were going to run away and do all kinds, and we
Yeah,
never did.
never did run away.
Only one time, 14.
Well, Doc, your accomplishments have been recognized all over the world. Now, let's get right into our program here. You know, this is a serious program, and we talk about serious stuff. And so we're going to start out talking about redistricting and what it means in Mississippi. Now, we know that redistricting is a strategy being deployed all over the Americas, from California to Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi. And redistricting, now, what is the purpose of it and how will it impact Mississippi?
Well, there are a lot of 3 or 4 different purposes. The number one of redistricting is to realign the voters so they would not be in a position to have what we call majority power in any area. There's significant funds, significant population, and the idea that someone might come in that will spend money on items and things that's already been neglected. And that's people comfort, affordability, health care, and things of that nature, and reforming the prison system.
Now, Doc, some in Mississippi label this the Benton-Thompson Removal Act, not just redistricting, but we only have one African American representative in Washington, D.C., and that's Congressman Thompson, and he's been there for quite some time. He's risen to be chairman of Homeland Security, and certainly he was the chairperson that handled the 10-year Air 6 riot in Washington, D.C. He was the chairperson that investigated those that perpetrated that crime, and he's called out of that. And so in Mississippi, it is said that Governor Tate Reeves was calling for a session to deal with redistricting. The goal is to remove Congressman Thompson.
That is to go, but that's not going to happen anytime soon at this point, unless there is an immediate redistricting in the next few months. There's no one to run and beat Congressman Thompson at this time, white or black.
White or black.
That's a fact. And most of the big time politicians, Republicans especially, and the Democrats know the same thing. You cannot find anyone that can.
Why is it that white folk don't like Congressman Thompson? I mean, what has he done to embarrass the state? Or what has he done that would require such an effort to remove the only black candidate that we have? I don't know anything he's done negative that embarrassed the state in any way.
Well, I don't know of anything other than he had economic sense to become independent financially. So he is not obligated to the people that make policies in power. He has enough independence because of his ability to get the vote, where he don't have to depend on his opponent to channel votes in his direction. He doesn't have to worry about buying votes like some of the politicians because he is so popular in his community. Certain people will vote for him even if he died while he could run for office, if his name wasn't moved from the ballot. He's popular, and many people have a lot of faith in him. He has done a good job, according to some. Some say otherwise, but he is very strong with his people, and he has the ability to be friendly with everyone. And he doesn't talk down or look down on people. When you see him when he's not on official business, he looks just like the regular person you will see in Hinds County, a boat walking around, talking to people, sometimes dressed what we call country, but at the same time, very vocal about whatever he believes in, and people have a lot of respect.
Doc, I believe he resides in Bolton, Mississippi.
That's right. That's right. My
That is
hometown.
about as real place as you ever gonna find.
I guarantee you, found a better place. Country is good.
Yeah, with that kind of power and influence, he had the opportunity to move up to the suburbs in Bridgewater, Madison, where more influential and high end people live now.
Well, see, he's smart enough to do what a lot of politicians don't know how to do. He lives with people, and he has his up in those communities that you mentioned. And if he wants something, he can call them. He lays low and stays right with his people. That's where he knows he's going to be.
But I want to make it clear to the viewers out there all over the world that we here at Digital, I didn't say we Dr. South, because I don't know what Dr. South, but we here at we uh, support Congressman Thompson all the way. He's done a great job. He has made us proud. I remember when sitting in office, and they were storming the door. Everybody was running and getting on getting under the desk. Congressman Thompson reminded me of iceberg slim. He did not move. He did not flinch. He did not show any fear. And he stood his ground, and then he went on to chair the committee that was investigating all of that committed that crime on January 6th there in Washington, D.C., and it was the complete takeover of the government facility. Vice President went running. We understood that everybody else was trying to find somewhere to hide. But Congressman Thompson, he stood his ground. And I'm proud of him for doing that.
Let me tell you why.
Why?
He was born in Mississippi, Hinds County, and he has been familiar with that kind of activity, violence, all of his life. He knows about hanging, bombing, burning, assassination, just outright criminal activity, even in the daytime, by a lot of the people that don't like certain people in Hinds County, in Mississippi, and the nation. So that's nothing new to him. So he's like an old warrior that's accustomed to war. They don't hear nothing about bombs, bullets flying, hand grenades being thrown. As long as they don't get them on the spot, they just lay low and shoot straight. And that's exactly what he has been doing. And as
Shoot straight.
yeah, and as you said before, you know how you feel about the congressman, but I must say too that I support him, and I'm going to continue to support him, and until he decides to retire or just say I'm tired, you're going to find he's going to probably appoint someone or give a recommendation, and it's going to be a person with similar characteristics, someone that's bold and independent. He's not going to support someone that's dependent on outside agitators and one that believes that it might be good to go in a private meeting and say, yeah, something that's not going to be good for your constituents. Don't believe that he would support a person like that. There's a lot of them in his party and others that party in the Republican arena that would like to have.
But Doc, I'm gonna ask you this question finally. This subject matter. Why is it that white folk in Mississippi can't see the value of having at least one black person represent the state in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, he's very simple. My experience with white folks in Mississippi and the United States by reading some history is that white folks basically say, we don't want to get black folks not 1 inch and put them in a position where they're going to have to determine my destiny. It is our religious right. Our mothers and fathers and grandparents have always told us that Negroes, black, and poor folks ought to be subservient to us because we do everything better, we know more, and their job is to do what we tell them and don't do anything else. We do not want any black person, male or female, to tell us anything, especially that has to deal with economic, social issues, and hiring personnel. And you better not throw in spending money. That is no no. And they say we can't support it, no matter who that person is.
So, Doc, is the facts and the truth of the matter comes out when it says that in fact Jesus was African American descent. What would happen to white folks' philosophy then?
Well, they already know it, but see, they put that on the back burner in their subconscious mind. They know Jesus was a man of color, and they know where he came from. And another biblical statement shows that he was a black man, or at least he was dark enough not to be able to pass for white, because when he got in trouble, he he was he went to Africa. His folks had blended in with the black folks in Africa for a while until things cooled down a little bit.
Wow, wow.
And all white folks know that, but they will not admit it because they know if they went to heaven and found Jesus up there and saw his original color and his current color, if he's up there, they would leave heaven and go where they could find him, and they'd probably go to hell looking for him.
Look out, Doc. Look out, Doc. 'Cause I hope it's not quite that bad, but it may be. We're going to move on. In Mississippi, we have a governor's race that's brewing. And the strange thing about this governor's race in Mississippi has been a deep red state for a long, long time. And of course, Barack Obama probably got the most votes of any presidential candidate that ever came through Mississippi. And yet he wouldn't even care Mississippi. He would feel red regardless at the end of the day. And so we have a governor's race in Mississippi, and there is no Democratic candidate for governor in this time in the state. What do you make of that?
Well, make that something that's very simple. People that have the ability to appoint someone to run for governor of the Democratic Party don't have enough faith in themselves, the voters, and the strategies in the back of their mind to make it happen. They might not even nominate one. There might be an underlier to jump up and says he or she is a Democratic candidate, but that person will have to be watched because someone might have talked to him or her and gave them what we call a gratuity to get on the ballot and run for a position as governor, just to pull some votes away from someone that might come in later that's serious as a Democrat, that might file before the deadline.
Now, Doc, on our screen there, we are showing the candidates for governor in the state of Mississippi, and all of them have R by their name. Lynn Fitz, the current attorney general in the state of Mississippi, is offering herself up for governor of this state. Andy Gibson, who is the current agriculture commissioner, is offering himself up for governor of the state. Philip Dunn, who retired, I believe he was Speaker of the House before one time in Mississippi, and then he retired, resides now in Clinton, Mississippi, and he is now offering himself to come back into politics and running for governor of this great state. And then James White, the current auditor of the state of Mississippi, has offered himself up for governor. And there may be one or two more that we want to screen. These are the major players that have announced as of this day. And as I said, there is no Democratic candidate, but there are some folk out here that are African Americans that could be running for governor.
Of course, a lot of.
And so we have a few of those candidates. I'd like to give out the name of people I want. My guest Beverly Hills. Uh, these individuals have distinguished themselves and have had distinguished careers in the state of Mississippi, but they're silent. Now, this is Brother Leroy Walker that you see on our screen. He's a community leader. He's got a career, a background that's impeccable. He once had over 14 McDonald's restaurants right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Uh, great civic leader, serves on a lot of different boards, and he's the kind of guy that we are drafted to see if we couldn't get him to offer himself up for this service. Because right now there is no Democrat. Then we'll come back and I want you to talk about these individuals. Next we have Mike Astley. How will you know Mr. Astley?
Well, I know Mr. Epstein very well. We know him when he was in the legislature, when he was Department Agriculture Secretary, and other jobs. He has a lot of experience, but he did have some political difficulties that sort of made his career a little tight. But he has all the qualifications to be a governor in the state of Mississippi. But there's this one problem. As a Democrat, it would be hard for him to get the votes unless he would make some new alignments and build coalitions that is not expected nor acceptable at this time unless someone explains well and get people to know that you have to do something different if you want to win and beat what we call the regular status quo type politics.
Now, Doc, he ran as the current Senator Cindy Hyde Smith, and it was a fairly close race. But again, we don't have any flag that holds a statewide office in the entire state. And so I guess we ran hard race against Cindy Hyde Smith and came up short. And as you said, he served as the agriculture commissioner under President Clinton. And so how many black people have had that position?
I don't know of any other to serve in that position, but he is a Southerner. He knows about agricultural issues and policies. He could have done a good job there if he had not made a few mistakes trying to do like other folks that have had similar positions.
So you're talking about the fact that he was accused of going to a football game and paying for a young lady's ticket or something like that. I mean, my goodness, when we think about what's going on today, that seems like a sin.
No, it's not a sin. There's nothing illegal about it, and it's nothing unusual. But people accuse people of anything they want. But you got to understand, son, whenever you have the majority vote, you can accuse someone of anything. They may or may not be guilty, but you can always take them out of office or make them look so bad until the few good people that know better still will not support them.
So he could be seen as one of the most capable and most competent and qualified people in the state of Mississippi to hold a government.
Yeah, with his background in law, public policy, working on the national and international levels, his ability to negotiate with foreign powers, his knowledge and will of steel, talked with people all over America in the executive branches, in the legal branches, and others. The man has a lot of ability. But now there's one little thing that some people are going to look at, which they shouldn't. You know, is age. Donald Trump is 80, but a lot of people now are going to use age against politicians because of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Those guys are old, and some people say they are not as clear mentally as they should be. And that's going to hurt other old politicians that might want to run for office and sort of going to make them skeptical. Then you have a few senators that are old and sort of slipping a little bit mentally, and that's not going to help anybody. So if you are 65 or younger, you might run without a major problem, and not people saying you're old and increpid, that you are not ready yet, and if you get office, you will not be able to be competent enough to do 4 years. So all of that, man, is very significant.
It's significant, Doc, but then young men have trouble. We had a young president in Bill Clinton, and the first thing we know that he couldn't have the coattails now. He got in trouble with our mother, and so I think young men don't seem to be able to manage right now, and especially women influencing power. Uh, when we look at the story of President John F. Kennedy, and we look at the scandals associated with Marilyn Monroe, he's a young man and not got all of his hopes on. And so he's vulnerable and to those kinds of traps.
So there's nothing that those guys were accused of that even the senators and House members that was in their 70s and 80s and early 90s were doing. They just got caught and are exposed. Nothing new about what they do,
Well,
including the person that and put some of the information on it, the bureau chief of the FBI and others. You know, we had a FBI chief at the time that had, I would say, documentation on a lot of politicians.
you're talking about J.F. Hoover?
Yeah, Hoover, yes, your boy. That's right, you're just a cousin. And he had the power to make them a break.
And he did make a break.
That's his
He
job,
destroyed the Black Panthers.
and many others.
Absolutely destroyed that.
That was his job, and most people supported him on that. They were in power in the political sphere. The people in the legal entities throughout the country, the judges and others in high level positions, they wanted him to keep things normal and keep those regimes in power in those sectors that I mentioned, the political sector, the legal sector, the judges, the major corporate leaders, and their support.
But now we're going to move on because one of the ways to solve this problem that we're talking about, LC to have, is to have a female candidate that's qualified to be the governor of the great state of Mississippi. We'd like to introduce Beverly Hogan. Now, she spent some time in your area.
Oh, yes. I've been knowing her for at least, I'm not going to say years. You don't need to mention ones they run for anything. But I've been knowing her a long time from when she was a young person in her teens through the time when she was president of Tougaloo College.
Wow.
She has a great, many positive experiences in leadership. She's able to build coalitions. She has a strong family. She is one that is involved in all kinds of community organizations. She is also an advisor, and she's not broke financially. Plus, she has a lot of appeal with a lot of people that are leaders in community organizations. She would be a strong, viable candidate if she could raise about $100 million to fight the big Republican money that's going to be coming down from Washington and other places. Otherwise, she would have a little difficulty. But that shouldn't stop her from running if she chooses to do so.
Now we're up against a commercial break. We've run through the governor's office and we talked about redistricting with Congressman Thompson's Removal Act. And now we're going to go to commercial and come back and deal with the second part of our show. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
Jackson, get ready for a brand new entertainment experience where fun, good vibes, and unforgettable memories all come together. Whether you're planning date night, girls' night out, birthday parties, or you just want to have a good time, we're creating the place for you. 2659 Livingston Road, across from the Medical Mall, Snooty Fox. It's your destination for a good time.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
Jackson, get ready for a brand new entertainment experience where fun, good vibes, and unforgettable memories all come together. Whether you're planning date night, girls' night out, birthday parties, or you just want to have a good time, we're creating the place for you. 2659 Livingston Road, across from the Medical Mall, Snooty Fox. It's your destination for a good
Only female. And if she would get her good company,
And we're back, and welcome to the second part of my show today. We're talking about a great deal of things, and if you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead on and send a star, subscribe to the program, share the program, the feed, link with your friends and family. Like and share. Like and share. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and share. Subscribe to the program so you don't miss any of these great shows. You can only comment on our show if you are subscribed. And so it's important that you subscribe and then give us feedback. Tell us what we're doing. Tell us what you like and don't like. We big boys, we understand that this is a contact sport. So tell us what you think on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or any place you get the stream from, you can get me digital. Now, on the commercial you just saw, we have a new establishment coming very soon called Studio Fox Entertainment Complex. And I guarantee you it's going to change the name of the game here in Jackson, Mississippi. So we're looking forward to that, and we appreciate them being one of the sponsors for this show. And just can't wait to see the kind of things that are going to kick off with Snoopy Fox in the arena. Everybody else better get ready. All the big boys now there, the name of the game, the wall, the riverfronts, catfish houses, etc. Water downtown. Here comes Snoopy Fox Entertainment Center coming to Jackson, Mississippi at the end of this month. This is football season, and we have someplace to go. All visiting teams that need well ladies have an opportunity to get good food and get cold beer and things of that nature, and watch the game on big screen TVs in the evening out from Snooty Fox. I'm in. Stay tuned, and you can get more information by watching the show. Now, we're going to continue talking about the thing. We're not going to spend as much time as we did on those two subjects, but there is the supervisors race with David Humphrey and Tony Smith that moved back up again in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, this is a very contentious race. One guy thought one, the other guy sued, and Judge ruled they have to do it over again.
that's,
So, what's your thoughts about that race?
well, I was fortunate enough to go to the trial. I had a chance to go to the trial. And Archie did have evidence that there were some underhanded activities going on. And I saw certain people that were in positions of responsibility working at polling, at some of those polling places and dealing with the boxes and other things that were there. They couldn't explain what happened nor where the results were. And the judge had to come to the same conclusion that Mr. Archie and his team had, that there were some nefarious activities going on, that it was not clear, it was not fair, and we're going to have a new election. And of course, that didn't make it good for a lot of people, because some people said, that's not good. We don't need another election. It's so close. Won't he just forget about this thing? So he lost. But he knows, and the judges knew, and the other people knew, even his opponents, that there were some underhanded activities going on, and they were able to prove it. And the Supreme Court, Mississippi Supreme Court, endorsed that concept that there should be a what we call a rerun at some time, and then they set a date.
I think the judge had initially set a date for this race, but then the judge ruled that the governor had the authority to set the date. So the governor has not said what date is for this new election. I got the feeling that he may just hold it on until November, which probably would be the time that the race for governor is going to take place. I mean, supervisor is going to take place anyway. So it's a very contentious race. We in this one have not entered this race. We have come to a conclusion about it. And so we can get information as we go to try to determine who we think would better represent the people of Hinds County. Both gentlemen have run hard, both campaigning hard currently. But the verdict is still out as to which one should be the real supervisor in that district.
Well, now there's something else, Sock, that you have to look at. It might be a reason why there's no set date at this time, allowing these men to continue to run. It just might be that there is no date set, and then when they get ready to run, it will be open to other candidates for District 2 supervisor. And there are others out there that will be running for that position. And they are going to have a wonderful time if there are others allowed, along with Mr. Smith and Mr. Archer, if there's not a date set prior to that time. Could be very interesting.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I have talked to some people that are interested in looking at pursuing that seat that are currently in this debate and struggle between these two gentlemen.
I know about 6. So
Really?
about 6. That's right. It's interested in running.
Really? That many?
That many.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that the last mayor's race in Jackson, Mississippi, I think we had 18 candidates.
That's correct.
18 folks decided that they could do a better job than what was being done in our city.
Now, let me tell you why that's true. Now. See, that's one of the best jobs. There are 2 jobs that if you can get them, you can almost die in this. And that is a preacher with at least 400 members or more, or a politician that could win in an area where you can get 4 years guaranteed salary with a handful of votes. Even if he doesn't know his job description, he's going to stay in at least 4 years, unless he can get hooked up in something where somebody would take his job. Otherwise, if he is very, very normal, even if he's incompetent and laid back, he's going to get paid for 4 years. And they know that. Good preachers are the same. They're not going to do much agitation when they get one of those good jobs. And the thing you don't do is try to do something that's controversial. You just get paid and say, I'm going to do better. 6 months just before the next election. You go back and tell the people, I'm going to do better. I will do the following things. And they list those and get another 4 years. And I've been telling you all for many years, you can do that until you do 15 or 20 years. And then you retire and allow your son, your daughter, or your wife to take your position.
Well, that's not the strategy that was Harry Tubman used and Martin Luther King. That's not their strategy. It's just to get in the office and sit in the corner and just collect the salary. They put their lives in the line.
Well, those are different people. You don't have those kind of people among politicians these days. Those type politicians been different in most cases. There might be 1 or 2, but I don't know.
Now we're going to move on. And the judges race that we are watching very closely here. This battle is heating up pretty good. Judge Hodges is being challenged by Bridget E. Clayton. Bridget is running a wonderful campaign. She is everywhere you go. You see her signs, you see her footprint, and she's getting a tremendous amount of traction in this race. So these 2 young women vying to be the next Chancellor Court judge here in Harris County.
Yes, I interviewed Miss Bridget on my radio show. She is very sharp, and I had a chance to interview the other candidate. Both of them are sharp individuals. They likable, and they appear to be able to come up with some innovative ideas. They don't appear to be lazy, so that's going to be a good vote. I think people are going to have a good time trying to figure out who would be better in that position.
Well, we have really considered these two candidates over, and we believe, and we're leaning in the direction of Bridget Clinton for that judge position. Young lady has shown that she's more than qualified, capable, and innovative, and one that we think will turn that office around and bring civility and fairness to the bench. We here believe that we send a shout out to candidate Clayton and show luck in that race.
Now,
Uh, on the-
excuse me. Now you say who are you talking?
I'm talking about the staff. Everybody.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm not talking to you now.
I just want to make that clear.
You want to make clear.
I am nonpartisan, and I always vote and support certain people after I talk to them. And I haven't had a chance to talk to those candidates in that line of conversation about support.
Well, as you can see, this show is not rehearsed. So we have our own minds. We speak clearly, and that's the way it ought to be. You can always disagree without falling it out. That's one of the things black folks got to learn. And so we look forward to the outcome of that race. Now, we have the national election, Doc, is coming up. And this is troubling for a lot of people.
What races on the national level is trouble? Yeah.
All over,
Hmm.
all of the congressmen, all of the senators racing. And if, in fact, Democrats can regain the House or regain the Senate, there will be trouble in Washington, D.C. The craziest thing I ever heard from Dr. today is the Iranian spokesman said that they want regime change in America. Now, how about
Well, that's what they want, and that's what they're going to get. And that's why it's going to be a new day for Republicans and Democrats in America. Those guys that are running for these positions and the female, they are known as socialist Democrats. Most of them are rich or have rich friends. They're highly educated. They have sharp and tight campaigns. They build great coalitions. And a lot of people are going to be surprised at the result. So when they do end this deal, where you have new people in Congress, you're going to find that the Democrats and the socialists either going to fall out or will have to form a coalition if they want to do anything with the Republicans. And right now, they don't like each other. So now that's going to be a new order. There's going to have to be negotiated, and some people are going to have to start coming forth soon, Sock, and say, "Well, I love you, but you're not going to get too close to those people. You've got to build a coalition to beat the Republicans." And the Republicans are going to do their best to keep the socialist Democrats and the regular Democrats divided. That's their job.
wow?
And it might work.
Doug, I just got a text message here from one of our listeners and viewers out there. They said that our sound is cutting in and out. I don't know why that is, but we are certainly trying to correct that. But the national is causing a lot of problems and concerns. If President Trump and the Republicans lose the House and the Senate, Doc, there are some that they will move to impeach the president.
Well, some might believe that moving to impeach him doesn't mean anything. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, they will move to impeach President Clinton.
Did it?
It did not happen.
Okay. Name another that got impeached.
Uh, President Nixon, I believe, he resigned before the
That's right.
impeachment.
Usually, you don't have anything that severe to happen to a president. He's not going to be impeached. One is not going to prison. And if one is accused of something, the president is going to replace him, going to give him a pardon. And those rich boys don't have anything. He's still going to get his pension. He's still going to have Secret Service protection. He's still going to have his library that people are going to pay to help him do it. And he's still going to be a millionaire or a billionaire, whoever the president is. And all of them right now, that's not billionaires or super millionaires, those that are dead and alive.
Well, I guess you remember black candidates.
Who for president? No, I'm not eliminating. There will be a few.
The billionaires or the super millionaires. I don't know that.
Well, former President Obama is close to a billionaire.
Really?
Yes, that's right. According to our information, when he was running for president, he was a super millionaire then. Since he's been a teenager, he's been in a position to be associated with millions and millions of dollars from his father, the man that married his mother. He's been a millionaire for years.
I didn't know that.
That's a fact.
So I thought he came from a very humble beginning.
He did.
Mother, and he was struggling to have to deal with his grandparents.
That's a fact. That was the humble beginning. But his mother was very smart. She knew how to look out for her son's future and her future, and she was able to marry well, and it just worked out in their favor.
What do you mean she was able to marry well? She had a black baby. So how she able to marry?
Well, I don't think she married the father of Obama. I don't think she did. But he was an African. And most Africans that were in America during that time were very smart, and many of them were rich that were at these universities, as most foreigners were in the big American universities during the 1960s. You did have a lot of poor foreigners from what we call dog-tone countries over in America in those big universities during that time. You had some of the most academic achieved individuals from those countries. Most of them had moms and fathers that had a lot of money. They had the ability to come to these universities and get a degree, and many stayed. Others went back home and got in politics. And that's what his father was, a potential moneymaker for an American person.
Well, are you saying that we don't have Americans born black folk that have achieved that standard?
No, I didn't say that. We have a lot of them. And they are in the same university system.
They do. Billionaires.
Well, there are a few black families that are billionaires that have their children in some of the best universities in America and in other countries.
I think it would do well if we missed out the black billionaires for our viewers.
We ought to do that next week or no later than this Friday. There are a lot of
I think because we want to inspire and show other black children and black kids, and black men and black women that it can be done. Regardless to the situation, you can overcome if you are strategic and if you have good luck. Maybe you can become a black billionaire. That would be something.
But it can. Almost anyone, if they have what you call good luck and the ability to do something different and not be, they could become anything they black or white.
From Mississippi.
Oh, he's from Mississippi and from the one of the worst places in the world. They could become anything.
What did the Bible say about Jesus and Nazareth?
Well, didn't have a lot of respect for anybody from Nazareth. They said in a condescending tone, "That boy's from Nazareth. Ain't nothing good from that." I'm just giving a paraphrase.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling that's what they say about Mississippi.
Oh, of course, there's some great people from Mississippi, man.
They say
All over the world,
they
they're
say
doing great
nothing
things,
good can come from Mississippi.
especially from Bolton, Mississippi. That's what I've heard them say.
Doc, we'll give you our last question of the day before we close out our show and check on our sound. Uh, Question for today. How can an independent voter, a candidate for public office, win seats in an election by building coalitions with Republicans, moderates, socialist Democrats, poor whites, liberals, and regular Democrats? What kind of question is this of today, Doc? How can an independent voter candidate for public office win a seat? Are you saying that they got to be compromised?
No, I'm not. I'm saying they have to be smart and learn to use strategies that are not used openly anyway, not currently. And it's,
And they got to build a coalition with Republicans.
they have to build a coalition with Republicans, regular Democrats, socialist Democrats, liberals, moderates, and independents. It can be done. It is being done, and it's going to be pervasive in the next 10 years. How do you think these socialist Democrats doing so well? That's exactly what they're doing. If you look at their supporters on in the newspaper and on television and see the pictures of their folks, they're all races, all religions, and you find that these people vote too. And that's what a lot of people find and going to see more and more of that happening. And that's why the socialists are going to have some of the big time positions, including vice president candidates running real strong in the next 3 to 4 years. You might even have a socialist that's vice president of America in the next 10 years.
Engineer, I put another mic on the podium today to see if it will help with the sound. So bring your volume up on that, all three mics. Doc, if you went out of here today and announced that you were going to build a coalition with Republicans and you were seeking elective office in Jackson, Mississippi, or Hinds County, you probably would be shot as opposed to being elected.
Well, possibly, but I didn't say all. I mean, some Republicans. And I'm not going to reveal the strategy, but you think all Republicans think alike in Mississippi, in the South, in the nation? Of course not. You have 4 different types of Republicans in America. I'm not going to name them at this time. There are 4. Now, those radically conservative Republicans, usually about 52 or 53% of the Republicans. So that means you have 46% that's not. And that group that fall into 4 different categories can be negotiated with.
So, Doc, here you say one of the answers to it is that they must focus on universal economic issues. Now, what are universal economic issues?
Those are issues that impacted all the citizens in America, all of the different Republicans, Federalists, moderates, independents, social democrats, regular Democrats. All of them have universal issues like affordability, jobs, education and training, and leadership. They can't pay the bill. Most of the groups, including the conservative Republicans, can't borrow $500 out of their checking account or savings account without using a credit card. Their kids can't go to school that they want to go to because they are not qualified academically, because they were not able to get the training they needed and the tutoring they need to be that competitive. They don't have the job potential in this state and many states that's going to be able to keep the young people at home. So if you don't change the universities and the ability for every student that can finish school in Mississippi and the South to remain here and have the economic wherewithal they need to be competitive with other states, you're not going to have. Anyway, got to be university economic challenges and show folks that we can have our economics together, we can do certain things, and we don't have to leave Mississippi, we don't have to leave Alabama, Georgia, or New York City, and leave California to come back to Mississippi in order to be able to make it economic.
Doc, you've got an outline here that we're going to bring to our audience on our next show. You outlined the core strategies for achieving this.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about focus on working class needs, reaching different groups, Republicans and poor whites. You're talking about listen first, attend local functions, and you said find that the candidate cannot announce a party preference,
No, no.
but must have a relationship with educators, moderators, political leaders, preachers, business executives, and leaders in the community.
Of
but
course.
not be party labeled.
Now, he's not going to hear, she's not going to run out and say, I'm a conservative Republican. I am a regular Democrat. I'm not going to give all of the beans away. If you do that, you can just stay at home.
Now we're going to bring these strategies and these steps for winning the election, both at the local level and national level or statewide level. We're going to bring you these strategies and we're going to take them one by one and we're going to educate and enlighten people that are offering themselves for office on what they must do to win the election. Remember, in Mississippi, we do not have a Democrat candidate for the highest office in the state of Mississippi. And there's a reason for that. And so these strategies that Dr. laying out could be the way that the political situation has got to work over the next 10 years.
That's 10 to 15 years. And if you have to start on the local level, so you can start on the national level. You have to start on the local level, build your base, build your numbers, build your finances, and then move on up to the state level in the respective states. Some states have already done this and didn't even announce what they are doing. People don't pay much attention, but this is exactly what they are doing. And when you know anything, you want to have new people in office all over the country. About 15 to 20% of new type politicians.
So, Doc, we're out of time, but I think he's saying don't be afraid to socialize with your Republican neighbors and friends and preachers, go to different churches. I think he's saying that there's got to be a new way of doing things in 2026 if you want to be an effective leader.
In anything, that's right. Whether it's a politician, corporate leader, church person, educator, you cannot be narrow-minded and stick with what you are familiar with. You got to be expansive. You have to be more inclusive and more careful about who you select in positions of responsibility. And you just can't stay with your friends, your college buddies, your sorority, fraternity people, and your relatives if you want to win and stay in power and be effective.
So the days of the yellow dog Democrat may be something we look and see in the real mirror. We're going to deal with it when we come back and join you on Friday. This has been Doc Inside, and we've enjoyed giving you this kind of information and material. And remember that Doc is one of the most sought after speakers all over the world. And there are lots of subject matter that we can bring and enlighten you in. Doc, tell us how they can get in touch with you.
Well, it's very simple, folks. If you want to hear something new about creating a new man, a new system, you need to call us at 601 201 1957 or email us at clu369@gmail.com. We said last week, this week, and we'll say in the future. We'll go anywhere in the world. You call us, set it up, and we'll come and see you and tell you some things you don't hear on our radio and our We Believe channel. We're not, now we'll give them all the strategies, not in public, but in private, folks.
Not in public. But it's been a great show. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll see you again on Friday at 5:30. Y'all stay safe and good night.